Hello everyone, I am Daniella Breen, and I want to talk to you today about more focus on the tangle and leaving the tangle, with the attention being on your support team. So what I'm talking about with your support team is that you have many light beings available to you that are working with you on all different levels of consciousness to support you through this journey. Beings including spirit guides, the angelic realm, the ascended masters, the lords of karma, the Elohim, all the way back to source or God. All of these beings, all of this consciousness operates at different levels for different purposes and is prepared and ready to work with you. Some of them, to some degree, are already working with you, whether you're conscious of it or not, and others are prepared to do so when you're ready to connect with them. So that's what I want to focus on, because some people think that telepathic communication between humans and the spirit realms is limited to certain people with special gifts, and it's not true. Everyone has the ability or can develop the ability to communicate with the spirit realm, although there is sometimes interference and wounding and what have you that may stand in the way of it, or your own low consciousness in areas from damage that can stand in the way of it. In general, everyone has the ability or can develop the ability to communicate with the light beings of the spirit world. And when I'm talking about the spirit world, I'm not talking about beings who are dead. I'm talking about those who are not incarnate in physical bodies. Okay? And actually sometimes they are very much incarnate in physical bodies and are available as in the spirit world as well. Okay, so it's a tough journey and a confusing journey and a long-winded journey leaving the tangle. Many times people think they're done, only to find out that they weren't done, that they just reached a plateau, and then more comes in to be dealt with. So when I talk about that, I'm talking about all of the attachment to the tangle, the ways in which you're plugged in to the lower system, and your wounding and distortion, the manipulation by darkness and so on. Unraveling all of that, separating yourself from all that is not you and aligning with the sacred truth of you. That's the journey that I'm talking about. And so it's complicated, and it takes quite often advanced skills that you may not have developed yet. But whatever it takes, having a support team that operates from outside of this whole mess. They operate from beyond it. So they're on the outside looking in. They can see the bigger picture. They can see the truth. And having these beings that are not distorted by manipulating darkness and so on. Having these beings being able to say, look this way, have a look at this, to help you direct you into subjects that will expand you, that will support you. These beings will train you. They will develop your skills. They will remind you of who you are by taking you there in different ways. By working with these beings, you've got a massive support, a massive advantage over not. They do not have, if they are true light beings, they have no investment in controlling you, in misdirecting you, in lying to you. They have no investment in any of that. Their investment is in supporting you into the aligning with the sacred truth, the ultimate sacred truth of you. They choose for you to be in mastery. That is their choice. They choose for you to be ascended, to be free of the lower system, to be aligned and integrated as the ultimate sacred truth of you, and to be operating as that in human form on earth. That is their choice. If they are true light beings, that is their choice, and they will support you there. And so having that massive wealth of consciousness that is not distorted, that is not confused, that can guide you into consciousness, that expands you and takes you deeper into the sacred truth of yourself, that is an extraordinary advantage. It creates a massive acceleration on this journey, and you want acceleration because it's a tough journey to be on, and the more you are moving smoothly and quickly to that ultimate state, to shift beyond all of the distortion, all of the tangle, all of the wounding, all of the garbage, and to be aligned and living as the ultimate sacred truth of you, the more acceleration, the better. They're not going to take you over what you can handle, although they will push you to the edge, because some of the things that you've been through, some of the stuff that you're tangled in, whether you're conscious of it or not, and quite often we're not until we come up against it, this stuff is really distorted and dark and damaged, and so you may get pushed to the edge. But that's not them wanting to hurt you, that's them supporting you past it, through it, over it, beyond it, shutting it down. So this developing relationship of you with these beings is something that I cannot impress enough upon you, how deeply powerful and important and helpful it is on this journey. I have seen people who have chosen not to work with other beings, and I have seen how much it has messed them up, how much it has their own head because their head's been reduced by the distortion that we've been living in for thousands of years, as has yours, as was mine, took them the hard way through things and around things, and missing out on stuff that tripped them up later. It's these beings, this whole team that you have that comes together as you're ready to work with them, they don't miss anything. As things come up, they will bring it into what they're working on you with. When you're ready, they will gently guide you through this. So I'm saying make the commitment and start working on it if you haven't already. For those who are doing the work, you know what I'm talking about. This is deep, deep work, and it's eternal work, because there is no end to the depth available to you if you want to take it on. So how do you develop your relationship with these beings? Some of the things it's too much to explain on this video, and I'd rather do it in live training at this point, because it's the kind of thing that is challenging, and it's a developmental process that once you get the hang of it, you can keep building your relationships with these different beings. These beings are many and varied, and they can change. There are beings that will take you so far and then step down because you need a different kind of teacher, or a higher level teacher, or a teacher that's operating from a different framework that you've now shifted into. You go through paradigm shifts in this work, and you require different teachers for different paradigms. So you need to build your skills, or build your ability to meet these beings. You need tools that help you to meet these beings, and there are different kinds of beings and different methods of meeting them. So it's too much to lay out in a video. It is something that I train on a sometimes basis, but it's very important. So that, you may have access to information on how to meet the angelic realm, the lords of karma, ascended masters, and you can also just put it out there. You can just say to your higher self, say to your I am presence, I want to start connecting with my team. And that can really facilitate a process, an activation process, where you start dreaming about certain beings, or you start seeing different courses being made available to meet the angelic realm, or whoever it is. And that's a great way to do it. If you're ready to do it, that's a great way to do it. Just ask your I am presence to help this to unfold. Another aspect of developing that communication flow comes from, starting with simple cards. Doreen Virtue makes them. Colette Baron Reed makes some beautiful ones. They're beautiful, sort of what you'd call general purpose cards. In other words, they cover a range of aspects of human life and spiritual development that if you follow the instructions in the little booklets that come with them, that really helps you to prepare the cards, align them with your sacred truth, clear them and maintain them, and work with them, do readings with them, and it opens up conversation or dialogue between you and the beings who are guiding you. So working with those cards, getting a deck of those cards or a couple of decks of those cards, and working with them and allowing the information to unfold, opening up to the flow, the consciousness flow that is coming into your system. That is a great way to start. Again, I do teach how to connect and get the flow going and getting into it. It's just a matter of when I can. Once you get a flow happening, whether it's through cards or whether it's through automatic writing or just literal conversation, which does develop over time, you can start delving deeper into different questions and different subjects that you're interested in around all of this. You can ask them to guide you to ideas and questions. What would you have me know? Sometimes starts that question alone, posing it to them, starts getting the flow happening and getting them to get into subjects that they want you to look at, that perhaps you're not looking in that direction. Whatever it is, the deeper you go into your communication flow with these beings, the more natural it becomes, the more they surround you and support you, and you work with them on deeper levels, the more useful it becomes, not just in your day-to-day journey through this. But if you come into states where the bottom drops out from your world, and this happens, there are times when in this journey the bottom drops out and you are left not knowing where you are, not knowing what's going on, not being in your normal state of consciousness at all. And to go into these states, which is essentially dropping into big, chunky, nasty wounds that you have in your soul history. And this is all coming up to be dealt with. So if you are, the more deeply you are relying on and working with and have a working partnership with these teams of beings, the more you can count on that connection when the bottom drops out, the more you can rely on that, because the connections are so strong when everything falls apart. So developing that relationship on a day-to-day basis is powerful and will accelerate your journey. The deeper you develop your relationship and expand in consciousness and expand in what you love, and align with the sacred truth of yourself, and let them guide you and have them support you, the better. And the more you can rely on it if things go wrong, if things get heavy, if you're confronted with wounding or an experience that you don't understand, because you've communicated with them so deeply, so well, and built those pathways so well, they're much more reliable and available to you if you go into one of these dark experiences. So really this video is about hopefully impressing upon you the significance and the power of building that relationship, building those relationships with these beings who are there in alignment with your I am presence to support you out of the tangle. They're not doing the work for you, although they do work. It's your mastery, this is your journey, but they are supporting you, and they are there, and they are prepared and happy to support you, and that's fulfilling their soul purpose, is supporting you out of the tangle and into alignment with the sacred truth of you. So that's what I wanted to talk about in this video. I really hope that this clarifies things for you and supports you on your journey.